Hi gang. In the spirit of the original videos on this channel, we're going to do an unscripted, unedited, one take. I've thought about what I wanted to say, but it will probably not be super coherent. That's what you're gonna get. Hi, my name is Joseph Newton. I am the owner and star, for lack of a better word, of this YouTube channel. I believe I pronounced the name I was going by as Azaria, so it's Azaria's space, but it's Joseph space too. I made a lot of these videos when I was in high school and my first / maybe second year of college, and I am grateful for the space and community this channel provided. It did not go as I hoped it would. I wanted to be a full-time YouTuber. I wanted to be an author. I wanted to be a musician. I wanted to be loved and have a community that I loved too. I think that's what I was really going for. And also, scratching the creative itch and trying to make a difference. Obviously that did not happen. I am not a full-time YouTuber or a musician or a writer or an artist or any of those things. In fact, I'm currently unemployed and on a medical leave from school. Yeah, school's taking a minute, which is okay. But I wanted to come back and offer a proper goodbye to this channel, as opposed to just leaving you all in suspense. I look different than I used to. My hair is long again. It's the longest it's been since January of 2018, I believe. I like it. Maybe I'll grow it longer. Maybe I'll cut it off tomorrow. Who knows? But for now, I like it. I also got top surgery. Just now I thought about pulling off my shirt and showing you the scar. Sure, why not? Honestly, who cares? Ta-da! Top surgery. There's the scar. If you know Miles McKenna, my scar looks like his. It's just one line. And then my nip knobs. I'm sure I've worn this shirt before on the channel. Probably not this sweatshirt, though. My glasses are new. Also, my environment is new. I am not in the house I grew up in. I am not in a dorm. I am in a house. For a long time I was housing insecure, so it's good to be in a house. And I rent. So, I'm on the lease, which is exciting. I wanted to thank you all for your support and your patience and your understanding. I did a lot of growing while I was on this channel. Eventually I decided I wanted to make a different channel. I wanted to basically be ContraPoints, or philosophy too, but really ContraPoints. I wanted to make a bunch of video essays, and I wrote some original songs, just like I did here, but for a specific person in my life. So I made a new channel, because honestly I was embarrassed of some of these videos, and I also didn't know how to change the channel name. So I wanted a clean slate. There's also another YouTube channel I have out there, but I'm not going to tell you what that one is. I will link the one with the video essays. It's got my name on it. And I'm proud of that work. And I don't mind people coming from here to there. I'm a little more hesitant about people going from there to here, but what can you do? It's the internet. People are going to find out things. Yeah. I also think it is hard for me to look at those videos because it was a difficult time in my life. I had a difficult environment growing up. I felt safe on YouTube in a way I didn't feel safe a lot of other places. I felt I could be seen authentically, and I'm forever grateful for that. Now I live in a place where that's not an issue, where I feel seen authentically literally every day, and I'm so grateful. But it hurts to remember the time when that wasn't the case. I would, before I had editing software or knew how to use it, I would film one-take videos like this, and I'd often have to just start over after a good chunk of time because someone would be shouting, or there'd be a loud noise, or something like that. My life is really difficult, and I didn't really realize how difficult it was until I was in a safer place at college, at Calvin, which I love very dearly, and also have many complicated feelings about. But it was there that I did a lot of growing and struggling. My mental health was so bad. You can find that out on the other channel. But it's been good for about a year. And I think it's going to stay good for a while. At least I hope it does. And I intend to do the work to make that happen. I have done this exercise in therapy. I don't do internal family structures or whatever, but we call it parts work. So it's not like multiple personalities or whatever, but different facets of who I am. Like the part of me that understands who I was at 6 or 17 or whatever. And I think looking at the channel is kind of like doing parts work. Like, it's good and it's rewarding and it's hard and it sucks because there's so much I have to try and figure out about who I was then and who I am now and who I want to be in the future. For those curious, this is a little different, but for those curious, my dad is still alive. He is still diagnosed with terminal cancer, but he got put on this miracle drug called enzalutamide, and everybody else in the study is dead, but it's working for him. So I guess I didn't kill my father. But it was really hard to navigate that diagnosis, and it's been really hard to figure out how to navigate relationships with my family, given the history I shared with you and the history I didn't share. Yeah. I also realized that the last video I posted was kind of abrupt. Like, it was a top surgery fundraising video, which, thanks, we did it, clearly, as you saw earlier. But, I didn't, tell you about the name change. I didn't tell you about anything. Joseph is not my legal name, but it is my name. I chose it. Maybe I'll go into why on the other channel. Maybe I won't. I think in the video I'm going by Joe. That's fine. That's a good nickname. I like it. It's not Joseph. It's not that great, but it's good enough. But let's talk about Azaria. That name is found, I think, twice in the Bible. I have no idea what it means, but I read the passage and I was like, that's my name. And I think it wasn't a reflection of who I was, but it was a reflection of who I wanted to be. Right? I wanted to be someone who understood my place in God's story. I wanted to be Jewish. Turns out I am Jewish. That's a whole other thing. I wanted to be unashamedly non-binary, have a name that was clearly unique, at least in the context of the United States of America for a white person. I wanted almost like a persona that I could put on for the internet and feel safe in, when my real offline persona was one that didn't feel authentic, and I didn't feel could be authentic. Azaria, my hope was to be a rock star, or Markiplier, or whatever. Someone who had a huge audience and a huge community of people who adored me. That's really what it was. There also, there was that creative drive, the drive to educate people, but the videos I made whatever I thought would go viral. And one of them kind of did. shout out to that Hamilton video. I've not listened to it in a long time. I used to go back and visit it. Yeah. I tried to capitalize on trends. I wanted to feel like I was doing something meaningful, and I wanted to be sure that it would be remembered. And it turns out none of that really matters to me anymore. A community like that's really one way, and like I was trying to make two-way communities happen. I'd reply to comments, whatever, but it was all with the hope that people would come back and watch more videos. It wasn't about genuine connection for me, and I can say that now. But it turns out that kind of community is not fulfilling, rewarding, or meaningful to me. It turns out I needed to belong somewhere. And now I'm thinking of, like, I go to a queer writers group and I feel like I have genuine two-way connections, friendships there. I go to a church that I love very much, and that community is important to me. My house is a community that's important to me. And I think I just had this deep sense of a lack of belonging at that time, and I thought this was the best way I could fill it. And maybe it was the best way I could fill it at the time, but it wasn't a good way to fill it, you know? Right? Like, I have some birthday cards and whatever hanging up. Like, people care about me, and I care about people. And that's not to say that you all didn't care about me, because I think you did, and maybe you still do. And I cared about you as much as I could, and still do. I still think about this channel and its audience a lot. But what I was trying to make it be was like a substitute for genuine, authentic, joyful relationships. And it could never be that. So this is probably the last video I'm gonna ever post on this channel. I could be wrong. I do still have the login information, clearly. And I'm not going to delete anything. I thought about deleting, like, the most embarrassing videos. And then, I didn't. And I'm glad I didn't. And maybe I will one day, but whatever. The most I did was unlist some and put them in a playlist where you have to go watch. It was the walk through the Quran. I made a video talking about why that was a bad series. And I have a link to the playlist, but you have to watch the sort of apology first. And that was a bad apology too, man. I'm so glad I never got big enough to be canceled. That sounds awful. And so what am I doing on the other channel? Trying to get big enough to be canceled, I guess. I think it's really just hard for me to think about what my life was like when I was making those videos. And I know I'm being very vague. And that's because, God forbid, someone from that time in my life finds out I think it was hard. I don't want to give them details. Which is kind of weird. Also, I don't want to be a youth pastor anymore. I don't want to be a thespian professionally anymore. I think I want to be a philosophy professor. I definitely want to keep learning. And I definitely want to be involved in community. And that's really all I've got. I want to love God, love others, and love myself, which I definitely was struggling with at that time, and have struggled with a lot since. I think I'm finally getting better at it. Not good, but better. So, hi. And goodbye, I think, really. Like I said, if you want to see what's happening on the other channel, I'll link it. Not the other channel, though. You gotta find that yourself. Good luck. I hope you all are doing well. And I just wanted to let you know, I think I am. Be well. Take care. I'm pretty sure I had some sort of sign-off. I don't remember what it was, but be well. You are loved. And thank you for making this what it was.